Hey everybody, it's your girl Nail. How are you doing today? And welcome to Simply Nail's Tiny Studio. I'm your girl Nail, and we are hanging out in the Tiny Studio. The Tiny Studio assistant has just brought me some coffee with some homemade whipped cream on it. You know I'm a Starbucks girl, and I do Starbucks at home. At home. It's so funny though. I had said that, I think I told you guys this, that I was not going to buy any Starbucks on the road because I have plenty of Starbucks here at home. And all I have to do is when I know that I'm going to be on the road, all I have to do is just make some Starbucks at home, put it in my new Grogu cup that my daughter bought me. It's a hot and cold type of cup, and it will keep my coffee hot. And just take it on the road with me, and that will save me $6, right? I laugh at myself because when I was out on the road the other day, guess what? I still found myself in the drive-through ordering a caramel macchiato coffee grande with whipped cream. So, I need to do better, right? I must do better. So, tomorrow I have some errands that I need to run. Well, I am going to make it my business. I'm going to tell Alexa to remind me to make my own coffee so that my carry up, yeah, my own carry out coffee. Oh, hey Alexa. Um, please remind me to make some Starbucks coffee to go.
When should I remind you?
Tomorrow at 9, no, tomorrow at 8:30 a.m.
Okay, I'll create a reminder for tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. By the way, I have a routine you might like. I can welcome you home with the day's news and relaxing music. Do you want to try it?
That's fine.
Okay.
You cannot speak Alexa name without her chiming in. Mm. So, as you see, I got that set up for tomorrow. So, and that's going to save me some coins, that's going to save me some coins. And we're all about saving around these parts of the tiny studio. I am still in the process of doing some things around the home because it is springtime. Excuse me. It's not just springtime, it's a brand new year. So I'm starting to implement some things and get my spring cleaning in and all of the things that, people like to do, people like me. What I like to do around springtime. And as I said before, this is my new year. So I'm really geared up to doing some things. I have some great ideas for the tiny studio. I just found my mask, well, a few of my masks that I put somewhere in a in one of my storage closets, and I found them, and I'm going to put them up after I sage, after I clean my home really well and then sage it. I went and bought some fabric and carpet, I should say fabric upholstery cleaner. And so I'm going to be cleaning, the couches in the great room, the couches in the living room. I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be cleaning this chair here in the tiny studio. And the chair that I sit in, you can't see it right now, but it's a really cool Ethan Allen chair. I've had it for about 8 years now, and I really love this chair. One of the most comfortable pieces of furniture that I have in my home, besides my master, the bed, my king size bed, in my bedroom. That bed is just awesome. And that's something that you have to do. You have to invest in your furniture, especially in your bedding and the furniture that you use often. And I've learned this over the years, as I become more mature. I know what I like. I know how, you know, what is comfortable for me and what's going to help me really get things done if I'm sitting there, whether I'm crocheting or writing or doing some type of office work. You want to be in the best comfortable situation. And then when you're just relaxing with your family, you want to be comfortable. So it's really good to invest in um, comfortable, relaxing, aesthetically pleasing furniture. And so, this beautiful Ethan Allen chair that I'm sitting in right now, I think they call it a recliner, but it doesn't do the reclining things. It doesn't do that, but it's just a really comfy chair, and I love this chair. When I was going through some really, you know, to horrific health crises, and then when my back just totally you know turned into a monster on me, this chair really helped me to it really calmed me down. It kept me comfortable. It was beautifully um made so that you can feel comfortable. You can feel relaxed in it. And I have fallen asleep here in a tiny studio in this chair many a night, many a day, when I was really, going through my back issues. But it was just a comfortable place to be. So that's not what I wanted to talk to you about today. But anyhow, it's so crazy we're talking about it, right? But anyhow, I have on this shawl, and I wanted to show you. This shawl is one of the projects that I completed so many years ago. Well, I say about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, probably somewhere in 2018, 2019. I made this shawl. And the reason why I'm showing it to you is because I saw some stuff online a couple of weeks ago where people were arguing about, here in the crochet community, people were arguing about, I guess, artistic integrity, or that people were stealing other people's work and patterns and things of that nature and not giving credit where credit is due. And, while I was looking at, um, I was, watching the engagement unfold between one crocheter and another. I thought about some of the works that I've completed. I am in the process of fine tuning some patterns that um, I have showcased here on this channel, but I had to put all of that away for a little bit, but I'm back to working on those patterns. But there are so many different things that, you know, I have learned from other YouTubers, crochet YouTubers here on YouTube, because, you know, it's YouTube is free, number one, and there is a wealth of information that you can find here. And a lot of the information that I found on YouTube to help me gain knowledge about crocheting and different crochet techniques, um, I have used that knowledge in some of the things that I have crocheted. And I don't believe that has anything to do with artistic integrity, because the things that I have learned, the technique I have learned, I have been able as an artist I've been able to build upon it and then expand into other things. And the shawl is one of the items that I have created, or that I, crocheted, that I learned the basic techniques for, but then, went ahead and did my own thing. This shawl is a rectangular shawl. So it's not your traditional, I want to say, corner to corner shawl. It's not your traditional triangular shawl, but this is a rectangle shawl. And it features the stitch of double crochet. So this is double crochet. It's a rectangle shawl, and it features some ruffles. I told you I have a thing for ruffles. I don't know why. I just have it. You see those ruffles back there on my cowl? Yeah, I just have a thing for ruffles. I love ruffles. So I designed my own ruffles. And then my ruffles go into loops. As you can see, the ruffles turn into loops. And then it gets even more ruffly as as I throw it upon myself. And usually when I wear it like this. And then there's the shawl. And when I was learning different techniques, when I started crocheting again, I appreciate the different videos that I watch that really, help me to fine tune or to expand upon, the very little knowledge that I had at the time of how to really crochet and create and um, develop my sense of artistry when it comes to crochet. And I wouldn't say that this is my own pattern, so I did not create this shawl from anyone's pattern. And the ruffle was something that I was experimenting with. And when I do create the pattern for or put it on paper for this particular shawl, then I would expect those who go ahead and make this, crochet this shawl, I would expect them to love the pattern and enjoy it, and then expound on it, build on that foundation. And when you build upon a foundation, then you go on and you become a creator. You create something new. You That's the beauty of being an artist, is that you take the foundation of something that's already there and you build upon it, you know? Because in this day and age, there's nothing really new. It's always, we're always learning from someone else. There's been a blueprint that has been mapped out for us. The idea is not to stay stagnant and stay bound to the blueprint. The idea is to move on, to develop things from that blueprint, to expand your horizons, to really go inside and discover your creativity, and, go from there. That's the whole idea. So I really, when I see YouTubers, arguing about, well, this was my design and you stole it, and now you're making and selling things for a profit off of it, and you didn't give me credit for this, you didn't give me credit for that. I have to sit back and I just say, it's really kind of, it makes me sad. It makes me sad that, we're in a situation where we all can't appreciate each other's works, and then not only appreciate it, that we can't just, be happy for one another. I'm not saying that if you're a person who you're stealing someone's material and you make a profit of it, I'm not saying that that's right. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is that we have to stop arguing about things that really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. The point of the matter is that the person saw something, they liked it, And they said, well, look, maybe I can do something a little bit different with it and see what I come up with. And that person got skewered all up and down these YouTube streets. I just don't understand it. I really don't. Maybe I'm seeing it, in a different fashion. Maybe I'm understanding it differently, but I feel that if someone sees a pattern that I um, develop, they take it and they not only do they create, do they create the item that I develop, or not only if they not only do they do that, but then they say, hey, I think I can do W, X, Y, and Z to this and create something totally different out of what Nail created. I have to applaud that. I'm not sitting around like, Scrooge, and acting like everything is supposed to come to me, you know, or act believing that, no, you can't, you know, be an artist and you can't learn and build from my formula. That's just not how I operate. So, anyhow, this is my shawl. And when I found it, of course, I told you I had just had people in to install some flooring in my home. And so we had to go through all of the closets and things like that, take things out. And so I found my shawl. And it's so funny that this summer, I mean, not this summer, this past winter, I was complaining because I was like, I don't have anything to cover up with. I need to go out and buy some more jackets and this and that and the other so I can keep warm. And then here was my shawl. My shawl was there the whole time. I just didn't see it. So that is my shawl. And I'm planning on making another one. I really don't see a lot of patterns for rectangular um crochet shawls. And so maybe this is something that I'll take up and I'll create a pattern of and design something totally different, something totally new. Look at those ruffles. It's ruffle mania up here in the tiny studio. For some reason, I have ruffles on the brain. But now I'm getting hot. So let me take this off. Put that over there for a little bit. So, as you know, this is the time where we're supposed to be beginning our spring equinox blanket. So I will be starting on that this week. There's still a couple of things that I want to tweak, and I will have those videos up for you sometime this week. I'll be getting started today, and then you'll see those videos as the week progresses. But I had the greatest of all pleasures to hang out at the Vintage Post Marketplace. It's a design and consignment store here in Tampa, Florida, in Seminole Heights. And that is my, hands down, my favorite consignment and furniture store. I just absolutely love that store. This Ethan Allen chair, you can't see it now. I have things on it. But this chair I purchased from there. My unit here in the tiny studio, in which I have my TV and what is this thing called? A DVD player. And then I had like shelving unit underneath it. I bought this beautiful, beautiful piece from the Vintage Post Marketplace, consignment and design place store here in Tampa, and I still have it. And it looks like it's antique. It's probably over, I want to say over 30 years of age, but it looks so good and it's holding up so well. It's made out of wood and not plywood. So it is a really great piece. Both of these pieces I purchased from there, and I purchased some a beautiful recliner, and it is in this beautiful color of, what color is it? It's green. It's green, and it sits in the great room. And I love that chair. I love this chair. And so I am just, every time I go into that store, I come out with something that I really, really love. That is one of my favorite places here in Tampa Bay. So I was in there on Saturday and I picked up some pieces. If I could, if I could buy everything I saw on Saturday, trust me, I would have no place to put it all. I really wouldn't. And trust me, let me tell you, I thought about getting another storage unit and just going and buying up stuff and just putting it in storage. I mean, why not? Why not? So, anyhow, and let me tell you something. You know what I'm going to invest in or thinking about investing in? Handkerchiefs. Now, I know that sounds kind of, old fashioned, but you see, I'm sitting here drinking tea with whipped cream in it. It's like, you get a little tea here or coffee there. And what am I talking about? I'm not drinking tea. I'm drinking coffee. So I'm sitting here drinking coffee, and I have my whipped cream in it. And you know how you get coffee around the corners of your mouth, or I feel like I'm getting a little, it's a whipped cream here and there. And I have been thinking about just investing in handkerchiefs, because when you get a really good handkerchief, you can use it, keep it in your, keep handkerchiefs in your purse, keep them around the house. And you don't have to worry about throwing them away. You just put them in a wash machine, and then after they get clean, then you use them again. And I've been thinking a lot about investing in a good set of handkerchiefs, and I saw some, and I'm going to order them, and I'll let you know how that turns out. But just sitting here drinking coffee, and I'm thinking about, oh, do I have some tissue around? If I had a handkerchief, all I had to do is just dab here and there and be done with it, right? Right. Okay, so anyhow, I was at my favorite store and I saw some really, really nice things, and I'm going to share them with you today. And I asked the sales lady to wrap one item. I asked her to double wrap it, because I did not want anything to happen to it. So she wrapped everything up and she put them in a box for me. So let's see if she double wrapped it. Yes, she did. She double wrapped it. And this beauty is what I found at the Design Vintage Post Marketplace. It used to be called Design and Consign Marketplace, but now they call themselves the Vintage Post Marketplace. So look at this. Look at this beautiful vase. Oh my God. Of course, it's heavy. It has a little lead in it. And I turned it over and I couldn't see if there was a marking on who made this, but we're going to find out in a minute. But as soon as I saw this and I held it in my hands and then I put it back down, I said, this baby is coming home with me. I did. It is so beautiful. Look at all the look at all the designs and the cuts in it. Look at that. saw it and I just felt it. And I was like, oh, this baby's coming home with me. And then I said, well, let me put it down and let me think about it. And as if I come back to the front of the store and I still see this sitting there, then I'm going to purchase it. And it was. And oh, just look at that. Oh, I just love it. It's just so beautiful. There are no excuse me. There are no cracks or anything like that in this vase. It's so beautiful. I love this. And I spent $15 on it. Can you see the tag? Yep. Oops, upside down. There it is. Crystal vase for $15. And it says it's made in Germany. And what I'm looking for is I'm looking for any type of signings on here or signature that lets me know, excuse me. So I'm guessing the person that consigned it told the store purveyors that they bought it in Germany. But look at this. Oh, look at the bottom of it. Look at that. Oh my goodness. This is so beautiful. So I saw it and I said, you're coming home with me. Such a cute, cute find. So I believe this is going to be going into my, probably going to be going into my curio cabinet. I haven't yet figured out what I want to put inside of it. Do I want to put in some faux flowers or plants or something inside of here? Some beautiful maybe chrysanthemums or you know, lotus or something of that nature. Maybe some white lotus or some blue lotus. Maybe I want to put some of those faux plants inside of here. I don't know, but it's just so beautiful. I had to have it. I really, really did. Look at that. Look at that. Look on the inside. Look at that. Look at that rim. The edging. It's just beautiful. I had to have this. And the price was right too. So that's one thing that I bought. I don't know where I really want to put it. I know I want to put it in my cabinet, but I want to show it off, so I don't know exactly where I'm going to place it. It'll come to me eventually. So the next thing I bought was totally for my kitchen. Here's the top. And I was looking, but I was doing a lot of talking. So I wasn't really paying attention to what the bottom of the vase said. I mean, the bottom of these canisters said. I didn't get to do that. But I bought some canisters. This is the smallest one. And I just love the top. You see that? Oops. Like a little crown. Place it back on top like this. And I bought 3 of these. It was a set. Well, it is a set. And then let me look at the stamp. Oh, look at that. Southern Living at Home. So I really like these. And I have red accents in my kitchen. Like I have a red mirror. Red is like an accent color throughout my house. As you see, I have some red back there. And I do that on purpose. It's a feng shui It's a feng shui color. And I can't remember, but I believe it means, represents, I want to say it represents fire. So I have to tighten that up. Okay, here's the largest one from Southern Living at Home. There are no cracks, nothing like that. Look at it. Isn't that pretty? Look how it's scalloped around the edges. Mm-hmm. It's the second one. Here's the third one, or at least the top. And I really love the way the cashier wrapped everything up for me. And she wrapped it up and put them all into a box. And I'm so happy about that. All we had to do was just carry it out. And so here's the third piece. Excuse me, no cracks, no blemishes. And what I really like is that little suction part right here. You see that suction part? So whatever you put inside of these containers, they're going to stay fresh. I just love that design. And I'm always looking for something that's unique and interesting to put in my home. And as I said before, my children are grown now. My baby is the tiny studio assistant. She's 19. She'll be 20 in May. And I'm starting to look at our home a little differently. I'm starting to do things in the home to bring it to life, to bring it, I want to say, I want to get out of the break away from my child rearing years. You know how you buy furniture and you do things, you know, in your home, your decor. For me, my decor um center or orbited around my 4 children. You know, I didn't want to have this color in my house because I was afraid that my sons would, jack it up or, destroy this piece of furniture and things like that. You know, when you have children, your decor sometimes, you know, your children dictate your decor. So now that my children are grown, they have their own things going on in their lives. Their rooms are their mini apartments, and they do whatever they want in their rooms, which is fine with me. I don't have anything to say about that. So the rest of the house, I'm becoming more transitioning from decor is dictated by the children to decor is dictated by Nell and the things that I like and that fascinates me, and that, when I get up in the morning, it stimulates me. So these beautiful canisters, I cannot wait to put them in the kitchen. Now, I don't know exactly what I'm going to place in them just as of yet. I was thinking of, we eat a lot of black rice. So I was thinking of maybe one of the canisters, perhaps putting black rice in them. Maybe this canister right here, I'll add maybe some turbano sugar. I'll put that in here. Because I keep turbano sugar in the pantry, but maybe I could put it in here and get rid of that canister. You know, maybe recycle it, do something else with it, but put the turbano sugar in here on the counter. So nice. And that's what I really like. I love beauty. I love beautiful things, but in my home, I want them to serve a dual purpose. I want them to not only be beautiful in design and form, but I want them also to be, I want them to be useful. I want to be them to have some type of utility to it, so I want to be able to utilize these things. So this is a very beautiful canister. And I just happened to be sitting down, just, the place is so big. It's like a giant warehouse. And, I start from point A, which is the front of the store, and then you go all the way around, go all the way to the back, and then you come back around. Then they have a whole section on the other side, on the right hand side of the store near the front door. It's a whole, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of things to look at. And I had decided to sit down when I was at the back of the store, and like I said, so much stuff. And there was this beautiful blue couch that I was sitting on that I was just like, I was in love with. And I just happened to look at another end table, and I saw the canisters. And I kept looking at them, and I was like, hey, red, that's my thing. And then, of course, I love the finial, very French or Parisian in style, which is another part of me that I simply adore. I love Parisian design and decor, and I have several several things that are Parisian throughout my home. And so this is just one more thing. Love this. Love this so much. And I find that I have this particular design, you know, in different areas of my home. And I'm probably going to have to do a little studying to find out why my psyche is so drawn to this, because I have this design in a few areas around here. So I might have to get together with my best girlfriend, and we might have to do some investigation on why I am drawn to this so much. But those were the items that I picked up at the consignment store. I really love them. They're so beautiful. I would like to hold all of them, but I don't want them to fall and break, and then I'm, looking crazy. So I'm going to wash them and then put them on the kitchen counter, and then decide what I want to exactly do, what I exactly want to store in them. And I'll figure it out eventually. I will figure it out. It'll come to me, but I was really thinking about putting black rice in one of them. And have you ever had black rice before? It is delicious. It's an alternative, a really good alternative to eating white rice. We eat a lot of basmati rice. We eat jasmine rice, things like that. But I'm getting away from that and getting into black rice because that's probably better for you. I think I read that somewhere too, that black rice was better for you. But anyhow, that's all I want to talk to you about today here in the tiny studio. I'm in a process. I sucked on my teeth. I'm in a process of ordering some things to go in my spring equinox blanket bag, and I'm going to order those things tonight. So you will see all of that in another episode later on this week here on Simply Nails Tiny Studio. Oh, this is what I wanted to talk to you about as well. Have you guys heard about what's going on now with Jehovah's Witnesses and some more new light? I guess 23-24 is the year that Jehovah's Witnesses are going to just overhaul their image. That's what it seems like to me. I think it's governing body update number 2. That's where the governing body just told Jehovah's Witnesses now that, sisters can wear pants to the Kingdom Hall, and brothers can wear a button-down shirt and some slacks to the Kingdom Hall. Now you don't have to be dressed down in a suit and tie. I wonder if this is just in time for their annual memorial celebration, which is coming up this weekend, in fact. So I wonder about all of these changes that this organization is making. And, the general idea is that, these changes are for the good of the, um, the good of the general Jehovah's Witness population. But I have to also say, is it? Is there something behind all of these changes that's going on? And I come to my own realization that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter why Jehovah's Witnesses are going making all these changes. And then another thing is that they're kind of relaxing the shunning. If you see a Jehovah's Witness, you don't have to treat them like they don't exist. You can't say, "Hey, what's up?" You can't say, "Hey there, how you doing?" You don't have to look at them and then look through them or pretend that they don't exist, which was ridiculous in the first place. But now they kind of relaxed it. They didn't get rid of the shunning, but they kind of relaxed it a little bit. So, all I can say is I don't know why they made these changes. I can only speculate on why they made these type of changes. But I just want to tell people who watch this channel that the idea is you have to be able to do what's best for you. Okay? You have to do what your conscience allows you to do. You can't do things because other people have said that this is what you should do. Because if you do so, you're going to be mad at them. But the thing is, why be mad at them? Be mad at yourself because you listen. And that's something that understanding that I had to come to and that I had to develop for myself, because you can't go around blaming other people for the bullshit they do, or that they convinced you to do. You have to blame yourself because you were the willing participant in your own madness. You were a willing participant in their madness and then became a willing participant in your own madness. And so you have to take responsibility for what you did. We can point the finger at them, but ultimately you have to take responsibility for the actions that you perpetuate into this world. And that is what I have come to. That's the realization that I have made for myself, because, for a long time, Jehovah's Witnesses and other um, high control groups, religious organizations, they come out and they tell you, well, God told us this and God told me that, and this is what you should do because God told me that. And my main argument has always been, well, if God can talk to you, can he not talk to me too? What's wrong with me? And being that I'm an empath, and also that I believe in a lot of different other things, and occasionally I have engaged in psychic phenomenon, I know that the universe and that the creator communicates with humans who are having a spiritual creatures who are having a physical existence here on this planet. I know that the creator of the universe does communicate with, and he doesn't discriminate who he talks to or communicates with. Nor neither do the ancestors or what some religions call angels, spirit guides. I believe in all of those things. So my thing is that when someone says to me, well, I'm saying WXYZ to you, and I feel that you should do WXYZ and ABCD because this is what God told me, I have to say, well, let me step back, or you step back, and I have to use my own critical thinking skills, because it sounds like control and manipulation to me. So never sit back and allow someone to control you and tell you that you need to do WXYZ because God told me to tell you this, or God said to do this. What does your intuition tell you? Let your intuition be the guide on certain matters, especially when it comes to things like, can I talk to my relatives? Can I talk to people that I love? even though they have decided not to be a Jehovah's Witness anymore? Can I talk to and communicate with the children that I brought into this world and that I raised and that I loved for 18 to 21 years? Can I still talk to them and break bread with them, even though they are not Jehovah's Witnesses anymore? You know, you can't let an organization of maybe 8 men and one token black guy dictate to you what you do in your personal life every day. You just can't. It doesn't make sense. Um, an organization telling you that the reason why you can't wear a beard is because it's ungodlike or unchristian like, and then they come back and tell you, oh, you can wear a beard now, we've talked about it. That doesn't make sense. I mean, truly, I have seen recently a lot of Jehovah's Witness men who have never in their adult life grown and wore grown a beard and actually worn it for more than 3 days in their entire life, in their entire adult life. And now that Jehovah's Witnesses are saying you can do it now, that you can do it, here they are with the beards and wearing beards and enjoying the aesthetic and the feel of wearing a beard finally. And they have to be in their 70s now. Does that make sense to you? 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s. You get to be 60 years old and someone told you that you can wear a beard that grows out of your face and been growing out of your face since you hit puberty around 12, 13 years old. But now a group of men say you can do it, you do it. You know, it would be me, the person who wears dreadlocks, that would say that, right? Because I had the same feelings. You know, I felt like no one should be able to tell me how to wear my hair. And just because you don't like it and you have an idea, an opinion about why my hair should just be a relaxed press and curl, and I should just be moving on as an example, as a Jehovah's Witness, you know, I didn't feel that way. I felt like I had to do what my conscience was telling me to do. I did. When it comes to this fellowshipping people and not speaking to them, I never felt like that. I never felt like I should just stop talking to people because they're not one of Jehovah's Witnesses anymore. I never felt like that. I continue to communicate to people who said they didn't want to be a Jehovah's Witness anymore, or they got kicked out of the organization for whatever the reason was. I continue to do that, even though people were like, "That's wrong. You're not supposed to do that. That's going against the Bible or whatever." Well, you know, I knew in my own heart that this was the right thing to do because you just don't throw people away. You just don't throw people away because of having a difference of opinion with you, or because they're not living their lives the way you feel that they should. You don't do that. You don't throw away your children because they have not lived up to the standards of religiosity. You don't do that. You know, so that is how I felt. That's how I felt. That's how I feel. And that's why I say when the Jehovah's Witness organization come up with this new light and they're evolving, they say they're changing, they're making clarifications, they're doing all of these things. You got to be careful when you hear things like that, because you have to ask yourself, what's the backstory on it, number one? And then number two, why are they telling me I can do things that I should have been able to make? Why are they making decisions for me and telling me I can now do things that I myself should have had control over in the first place? Now, don't get me wrong. Every organization has the right to come up with laws, rules, regulations on how their organization functions. You know, just like sororities and fraternities and other organizations, they have a list of bylaws that you have to abide by if you want to be a part of that organization. And I get that, you know, but If an organization, a religious organization, tells you that you need to do A, B, C, D, E, and W, X, Y, and Z because God told us that you're supposed to do that, and if you want to have salvation, you got to do W, X, Y, and Z, or you're going to die and your family's never going to talk to you ever again in life if you know, if you get this fellowship or if you get kicked out of the organization, you would be better off dead. If an organization says that to you, a religious organization, regardless if it's Jehovah's Witnesses, um, the Seventh Day Adventists, the Latter Day Saints, um, Scientology, whatever organization it may be, if they're telling you that you have to pretend that your living relatives are dead because they don't follow the tenets of their religiosity, you need to think for yourself. Think for yourself and then act accordingly. Don't let any organization, especially a religious organization, dictate to you how you're going to move in this life, because we're all children of God, right? Yes. We're all children of God. We all have a personal relationship with God. And if you do not, it's time that you acquire one. Because when you acquire that relationship with God, then you are able to make conscious decisions about what's good and what's bad for you and your family. It's true. So that is all I'm going to be talking about. I don't want to hold you too long on the line, child. I'm going to allow you to just get back to doing what you were doing today. But I wanted to hop here in the tiny studio and talk to you about a few things that have been on my mind, let you in on what's going on in the tiny studio. And I'm still sipping on my coffee. Once again, I'm getting whipped cream on it, on my face. But that's okay because it tastes good. So, I'm going to get off this line. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to drop down in the discussion section of this video and let's talk about it. What do you think? Let's talk about this. And have you subscribed to Simply Nails Tiny Studio yet? If you have not, what are you waiting for? And as a matter of fact, why don't you go ahead and like this video, hit the notification bell, and subscribe. You know what? You do that and I'll wait. Thank you so much for subscribing, liking, and hitting that notification bell, because I really appreciate that, and that really helps the algorithm here on YouTube. It lets the algorithm know that you enjoy this channel and that you would like to see more content from me, from Nail, show up in your timeline or in your on your timeline here in the YouTube land. So thank you so much for watching this episode of Simply Nails Tiny Studio, and I hope to see you sometime this week. I'm going to be posting updates on what's going on here in the tiny studio on the community tab, and that's why you have to be subscribed, because if you're not subscribed, you're not going to know, right? No, you're not going to know what's going on here in the tiny studio. All right, then, so I'm going to get off this line and I'm going to let you go. And once again, thank you so much for tuning in to Simply Nails Tiny Studio, and I will see you again later on this week. Bye-bye.